it's going to be kind of enormous. I mean, huge herds of beasts and flocks of birds and big elephants, and talk about the danger of various animals that we run into, the size and kind of danger of real lions, and we got I don't know how many different tribes in here that are people who are painted different colors, who have different kinds of hairstyles. I mean, rivers and trains and there are all kinds of things going on. So the adventure and I guess enormity of what we know as Africa, will be a huge part of the film. It's definitely a distinct character. He was in London because he wanted to come into the Congo to find out if the rumors that he'd heard about slavery going on here were true. I mean, like I said, coming from a background where he's probably one generation removed from slavery, I guess that was a thing that touched his heart. It was very personal, and he was a bit of a rogue. He'd done a lot of different things. He lied to join the army when the Civil War was going on. He was like 16 and told him he was older. So he fought in the Civil War. After that, he went to Mexico, fought in the Mexican-American War against Maximilian. Then he came back and he fought in the Indian Wars, which he was somewhat ashamed of, the fact that some of the things that he did to the Indians. And he, later on in life, became a congressman or a senator in Ohio, and I'm not really sure he ever was really a PhD or a doctor of any sort. I mean, he had a bit of the con man in him. Well, that's what boys do. You run, you jump, you chase. It's part of being, in that. So I knew what I was getting into when I got here. Yeah, it's actually been good. It's changed my whole physical regime. So I work out a lot more than I did before, and working out in different ways. So I become a lot stronger in the process of doing this film, which is good. It's fun watching David direct this film. We know what all the boy stuff is and how we want to do it, and Buster, the stunt coordinator, is very good at what he does, and he makes these things happen. But it's also wonderful to have someone come in and speak to you about the nature of your relationships, and that this film needs to be about relationships. It needs to be about our relationship with each other. It needs to be about our relationship to the tribes. It needs to be about our relationship to the land and to the things that are around us, and how we deal with the things we encounter. And David keeps us on that even keel. It's very much like having a director in the theater who pays attention to the relationships between you and everything that's around you, and not just setting up shots and taking pictures of what you do and really just allowing us to be big or small or whatever, but to kind of nuance the things we do so that we don't get ahead of ourselves, and so that people will invest themselves in the film in a different kind of way in terms of what the real human relationships are and the emotional impact of what they see and what's happening with us on the inside of it. Let us say there will be swinging from trees. There are giant gorillas. There are herds of wildebeests and ostriches and tons of crocodiles, and lots of fighting and running, and beautiful African people with tribal dress, spears, arrows, shields. It's going to be a visual feast for people to come and see.